with Tanner. We will be going into this in more in depth in a second. I have to wait for Instagram to register that we're live right now. Take like 30 seconds probably. Knowing how servers work. So
What's up? What's up?
yeah, boy. Here, right on cue. 30 seconds later, here we are. Go live on Instagram. Hmm. Let me see what it looks. Oh, okay. I can't select it. Never mind. I was gonna say let's see what portrait mode looks like with the two of us, but um that
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
I just got the notifications too. Everything went live like Twitch and Instagram right now.
Let's go. I'm gonna share that bad boy out. Um Let me refresh this page. There we are. Yeah, we're live. Let's go ahead. Share to the feed. And then we're gonna do a little interview here. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited that you're a part of this team. This growing team of volunteers and people in general, employees, etc. Um, and obviously you're here. You're going to be helping out Harrison and everything. And people don't know what that is, but we got a grant from Delaware to expand down the Delaware to conduct surveys and such to try to get better data on what's happening with veterans and first responders and families in terms of like alcohol, tobacco use, um, prescription drugs, etc. And you're going to be helping Harrison with the data input portion. However, there's a lot more to you and to what you're doing with us. So I would love for you to introduce yourself a little bit, and I'll guide you through. I'll ask questions and stuff like that too. But kind of take it away, man. Introduce yourself. Kind of talk about why you were drawn to Project Refit, how you got involved with us, and that whole story. So go ahead, brother.
It's a good one. I enjoy saying it, man.
Yeah, dude,
I
it is
enjoy
cool.
yeah, I enjoy being here and being having the opportunity to say it.
Amen,
Um
brother.
I see Deanne said Tanner, so hello Deanne. So my name's Tanner Rene Ortiz. I am from Fresno, California, which is a far, far away from New Jersey.
Yeah.
The military brought me. I exited my term as 8 years active duty. As I got done with my 8.5 years of service, I moved to New Jersey to be over here with my wife and my kids, and to finally, be a dad. And so that's kind of where the journey starts for me after being done with my service. And I get to talk about it a little bit more. We get around the fireside chats, but for the most part, it was tough being a father, and life started just kind of kicking me down, and I got the opportunity to meet Dan, and that's where everything kind of started for me. And Dan was able to point me in some of these directions, and
Yep.
that's when I started playing disc golf, and the disc golf was the star of it all, and that was just the very beginning to which really picked me up. And Dan's like, "Hey, man, you should come out this one time. Come out with us to this fireside chat to a retreat." And he talked about it. He said, like, this retreat is going to be good. I think it'll be a really good time for you to not only just get some of the stuff off your chest, but to also meet other veterans. And so I was like, okay, let's do it. Let's go out there and let's do this. It's definitely nerve wracking at times. It can be, and but I took the step. I get out there. We're at Philadelphia early in the morning. I meet James. I meet Dan. I'm again there. I meet Rocco. I meet all sorts of people, and
Yeah.
I was like, all right, like this is gonna be a good time. We get out to Montana, and that's where the work started. That's where we started working on the individual, which was me, Tanner. Let's dissect Tanner, and we did that. We did exactly that work, and we came back. We came back from Montana, and at that point, I realized I had a lot of work to do, and I started getting really close to all the other guys that went out there, and but my heart was dead set on how can I further not only myself, but how can I get even more involved with the people that are going through the same exact thing that one
Yep.
I'm going through, but what I went through. And at that point, it was just, it was head down, and I was just going. I was just it didn't matter what's in front of me at that point. It was like I'm going to do anything and everything to help out another person, and that's what where we're at now.
I so Dan and I talked about actually kind of like where we wanted to go, the type of people, the type of personality profile that we wanted to bring into this organization. And dude, honestly, like Dan actually commented, he knew you'd fit right in. It's because you've got the personality profile that we look for, right? A person that isn't afraid to be vulnerable from a place of strength, a place of like, hey, actually, like I know I'm not perfect, but I am trying to get better, and I am trying to be better as a human and as a man, as a husband, as a father, as a son, as everything else in between, right? You just want to get better, and we love that, and we love the fact that you're willing to step up, right? And the way you spoke to the other guys too, from a place of respect and understanding, you weren't judgmental. You honestly, in the best way, didn't give a shit. You were just like, look, man, like whatever you did, however it happened, however it went down, like whatever, man, like we're here for it, I'm
Right.
here for it. Actually, that's what it was. You were more like, I'm here for it. So that was a fantastic, I would argue, attitude that you brought, and it also helped us make a better environment, even during Montana. You brought a really good attitude that made it a better environment, a better healing environment for everybody around. And that's why I was like, damn, I want to throw this dude to the wolves. Like, let's get him going. I want to get
Yeah.
him to be a leader ASAP, Rocky. So brought you
And it
out to,
happened.
yeah, and it did. And we brought you out to Poconos this past weekend. I mean, what did you think of that? What did you think of being a retreat leader, like somebody that was around the fire that was speaking and like kind of like guiding guys through a little bit? Like, what do you think was so? Yo, Sam just threw up some hand emojis to you.
Hey, what's good,
Hey,
Sam?
what's up? Good. He's so cool. What's good, Sammy boy? Hang on, I'm gonna say, hey, brother. But what'd you think, bro? Like, how'd you roll? Like, what did you think about it?
So definitely going into that retreat, it was a different mindset for me from apart from going to Montana. Montana was solely focused on like I went with the mentality of like nervousness on like who's going to be there, what are they, these guys going to, what kind of baggage are they going to bring with them, and I
Yeah.
guess I had a different mentality, just participating in the retreat as like, um, not a leader. I guess that's what it was. I
Yep.
wasn't a peer leader, but going into this one, you brought a whole different mentality. It was more of it doesn't matter who's going to be there. It doesn't matter how many are going to be there. It none of that played a factor into my mentality at all. It was more of what exactly am I prepared for? Like when this guy says this, how am I going to help him? And like, I guess the easiest way to put it was is whenever we were at that fireside chat, and it was a great way of explaining it was. Um, there was a moment at the beginning when I realized that, like, okay, we have so little time, but yeah, we have so much work. And it was like, I need to like I was willing to put myself in my situations and what I had going on, one, what I've gone through and what I continue to face, but to bring something up to get everybody to realize like this is real work we're out here to do.
That's right.
And like, and as a leader, it's like you have to put yourself out there. There's sometimes they show like a picture of the guy who's like from the back telling his people, like you got to pull this, you got to pull this sled, you got to pull the sled, and he's sitting there like yelling at him. But in reality, it's like I was the leader who's like I'm in front of the sled,
Yep.
and it's like I'm gonna help you pull. We're gonna get through this together. So I think I definitely when I went with more of an approach that like I'm gonna show you as a leader, even like that word doesn't even mean anything to me with you guys around me. Like I'm gonna be vulnerable with you guys,
That's it.
and then we're all gonna do it together. And so like yeah, it was a completely different experience being there as a peer leader than it was just being there as somebody who's going through it through the program.
Yeah, I was actually really impressed, Tanner. I mean TJ coming in here because TJ was also a part of that retreat. TJ is also one of our major coordinators. He helps us out tremendously. He's an advisor for this organization.
Yes,
So
yeah.
him being with us for a while and him saying you did great, that's a big deal, you know, like, so, TJ is
Appreciate
one
you,
of the,
TJ.
yeah, that's right, baby. TJ likes to play leader from the background. He likes to help us organize things and keep things a little bit more organized for these retreats and such, especially for the big ones. And we cannot thank him enough for that and for being there. But I think you did great too. I mean, it was fantastic. I think you did a good job. You know, when you did great, actually, I'll point it out when you actually did great. You did great when you said, you know what, because Sam stepped up. Since he commented, Sam stepped up. Sam shared some things too. We're obviously not going to say any stories or anything like that. That's the respect that we give to the people and to our participants. But he stepped up, he talked a little bit, but then you noticed that there was a lull, right? And the people, like our group, needed a leader to step up and share something to move everyone forward to feel comfortable. And you were the leader that stepped and you stepped up and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna share it. I'll be the guy that does it. And you took a page right out of Rocco's book. Rocco, he's one of our best, one of the OG leaders of this organization, and that's what he did out in Montana. I feel like you took a page from his book. I mean, is that where you got inspired to do that, or?
I definitely I like how Rocco does it. Rocco's I see Micah's comment. Good seeing you,
Yep.
Micah. Miss you, brother. I hope you're doing all right. I definitely when Rocco does that, it's the exact same approach that I wanted to go about it too.
So
It's you have to be willing to sacrifice like your own comfortable,
yes.
like you gotta
Yep.
just put it out there and you steer that wagon.
Yep.
But Mike, I mean, Rocco's been in for 9.5 years, and he was in the service for what, like 9.5, and so
Something
like,
like that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I feel like we relate a lot when it comes to that. Like we've been through enough, time and service. We've already come across those awkward, the uncomfortable, you know. And there's a certain point in time where it's like you learn to just kind of take charge and to do the what's the next step. Like you're ready for the
Yeah.
next part.
You're ready to lead from the front, man.
Right.
And I feel like that was like really critical, and really important too, especially for moving the conversation forward and keeping everybody moving. Oh shit, Big Cat, I got to respond to your email, bro. Um, it's a good day when there's a Project Vision
Project
stream.
Research.
Amen, brother. Yeah, we got to get him out to a retreat too. By the way, all your answers, I'm actually going to answer all the questions that you had for me inside the email, bro. It's all free. Everything's free. You don't have to participate in any of the stuff that we do. You only have to participate in what you want to participate in. So there's literally zero pressure at all. So
Mm.
everything is up to you to decide. So we'll fly you out to one of these retreats one day, hopefully soon, brother, and you can experience it and be a part of everything with
Looking
us.
forward to seeing you, man. Hope
Yep.
we get you out there.
Yep. He's been actually a Twitch followers, and also follower in general of Project Reefer for years now. And I can't wait to have him come out and meet us in person. It's going to be really awesome.
That'd be good stuff.
Yeah, yeah. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. Um, but yeah, so I had something I was going to say, man, and I can't remember what we were talking about.
We were talking about Rocco and like how you said I took a
Lead from
page
the
out of his
front.
book. Lead from front. Lead
Yeah,
from
yeah,
front.
yeah. So, I really love that approach of how you took that and how you actually took your military experience and leadership and brought it here, right? You brought it directly to, the firesides, and it's a new fight. It's a new war. That's why I always say, like, join the fight. A little,
One fight.
hell yeah, dude. Go get that on our store. It's our web store. Go ahead and buy that shit. Let's go. There's shirts, sweatshirts, hats, whatever you want. But,
Come on,
um,
baby. Y'all got to rock it. Y'all got to rock
yeah,
it.
yeah. Join the fight. Let's go. Rock it with Rocco. I'll put that as a shirt one day too.
Special out for
Uh,
that man.
yeah. Um, but no, I really, it was actually really encouraging because it's exactly actually what Dan and I spoke about when we were talked about you in particular. And it was literally about how you had the ability to hear people. Like you don't just listen to respond. You're actually watching. It seems like you watch the whole person. And that's what we look for in someone that wants to become a leader in this group, right? So it's a person that can sit there and observe an entire human, not just the words that are coming out of their mouth, but what they're also trying to say. You actually did a couple things during the retreat that I really wanted to applaud you on too. You did a lot of clarifying statements. You would actually re-ask a question back to the person. And I would love to see you do that more, is where you
Mhm.
re-ask that question to people again, where it's like, hey, did you say this? And then when they say yes, you're like, okay, great. That made me think of XYZ. That actually makes a person feel heard, and it makes a person feel welcome and safe, actually. So it was really cool that I saw you do that a couple times just naturally. And dude, the more you do that kind of stuff, the better you're going to be at being one of the leaders as part of this whole entire thing. So again, just it was pretty fantastic to watch you do your thing. And I can't wait to see it more.
That was a page out of your book.
Yeah.
I was talking to Scotty about that. And when you get brought up in conversations a good amount too, it's because the way you end up, I wouldn't say use the word dissect, but it's like you have a very good way of taking what somebody says and putting it back in front of them. So because we're our own worst enemies ultimately. There's so many times where we are our own, like we'll be comfortable in our own mess. And you are very good at being like, nah, you said that, but do you mean that when you say it? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it stumps people, but it's a necessary thing that needs to happen.
Yeah.
It has to happen more often, because then in that case, it's our brothers try left and right. If we don't hold each other accountable, then in reality, we're not there to do the work.
Yeah.
And so that was one thing I wanted to say. I appreciate that you saying how I did that, but all credit, I learned how to do that a little bit more from you seeing you do that. And so the other thing though you said is like taking my leadership skills and putting that back into this.
Yeah.
Um, to comment on that, I'm very very blessed in what I'm doing right now. Welcome to the family, Tanner. Looking forward to getting to know you better. Stefan Weber, thank you very much. And I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing you, getting to know you better too. Um, I take these skills that I learned. I think I was an NCO for a little over 4.5 to 5 years, something like that. Even when I was a specialist, though, before I became an NCO, they had me as a team leader. So I already had these this leadership mentality before I even became an NCO. Then I became an NCO and I had all the soldiers underneath me. But the
Yeah.
one thing I did that I prided myself so much on, and a little pat on my own back,
Sick.
was
Do it.
when I was an NCO. I had I remember the saying, it's you can catch more honey with or you catch more flies with honey than you can vinegar. And it's more of like, I don't need to be a heavy fisted leader to get people to respect me. I'm going to be in that hole with you. I'm going to be in
Yep.
the hole. And I was out there all the time on the line with my soldiers. I wasn't just telling him with a book in my hand saying, you guys need to go do this, go do this. And when you get done with it, come back to me. It was more of, hey, we need to do this. We need to do this task. And when we're all done, we'll all go back home together. And there was plenty of times where I'd be like, you guys go home and I'll finish it. And they'd be like, "Sorry, are you sure?" And I'm like, "Guys, it'll take me 20 minutes. It's already 30 minutes past 1700. Go home, go with your families. I got this." And
Yep.
and it's that mentality. It's like sacrifice, that goes with it. But it's like that whole time though, I was learning how to talk to people and to really not force a respect, but to like giving mine to you, and and in your own turn, I know you're gonna give me respect because of the way I'm treating you.
100%, man. I
Yeah.
actually also wanted to read something off of Instagram. Sam said that Tanner was great at active listening. I felt like I wasn't talking to a wall and actually talking to a vet that cares. And that is something that really does matter. And taking that idea of the sacrifice part, where we're giving up a weekend or we're giving up a week, to be out and with the other veterans around the area. I mean, like that. Tanner
Hannah
Montana.
Montana.
Let's go, Tanner Montana. Let's go, Rocco.
Coming
I
on,
can't wait.
Rocco.
FML this Thursday. Can't
Thursday.
wait. Yeah, we're but yeah, it's exciting stuff that you were able to take what you learned, that sacrifice aspect of it, but it's not really sacrificial in a way for you necessarily. And is what's special. You're doing it because one, it helps you, right? It helps you get better as a person to be out there and help these dudes out.
Absolutely.
But two, it's something that you just love and enjoy as well, right? Like you're doing something that, is needed for yourself, but also something that you love to do for the guys, right?
Right.
And I really think that's a killer combination because you will be away from your family sometimes, but that's the other thing too. You have an awesome family unit where your wife understands. I mean, she served too, and she understands that you need this, and that you're going to be helping out brothers and sisters, that aren't a part of the core family, but a part of the greater family, right? That is the
Right.
the veteran community, and it all just fits so well, and I can't wait actually to see what's going on her end too, man. But just such a great thing that you have such a good family core and family unit, and Daisy, your baby
Oh,
Daisy, right?
there's
That is
girl.
such, dude. Having her come out on the retreat was great. Having her there is like almost like a support animal. I just call her a support animal. She wasn't like
Yeah.
a therapy dog or whatever, but she was out there.
She
We
did
had
her
a
thing.
couple dogs. We had 4 dogs that were on that
Four
retreat
dogs
with
in
us.
total. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was kick ass. That's another thing I feel like a lot of people don't know is that if you have a dog, you can bring your dog with you. You know what I mean? Like bring your dog as long as your dog gets along with other dogs. That's great. Like my dog, I can't bring my dog when little dogs are going to be present because he'll eat them. Um, so I don't want that. You know what I mean? Like the two
Right.
little Frenchies that were there would have been
Pip,
just
Pip and Squeak.
Yo, Pipsqueak are the best dogs ever. They're super cute dogs, but they would have been chopped liver, dude. They would have been like little toothpicks in my boy,
We can't
which
have that.
sucks. Which sucks. But what did you say?
I said, no, we can't have that out
Can't
there.
have that shit at all, dude.
Right.
No
Right.
way. Um, yeah, but we're excited about also even doing things like little mini retreats like we just had, the bigger retreats, the longer ones that we're going to have, and having you come out to those too. I actually would love to hear, since we're here and on it, because I was so impressed with you when we're out in Montana, quite honestly, and like what was your experience like when you were out there? Like what was it that drew you in deeper into this organization that really made you feel like, man, I want to be a part of this in a bigger way?
Great question. Um, I think it's when I first got out there, like I said, I definitely had the nerves going. I was nervous. And I didn't know what I was walking into. Um, I want to say we didn't have our first fireside chat until day two. And then day
That's right.
two was like, because like when we went on this recent retreat, day one, right at that Friday, we got to it, game
That's right.
time. But we also knew that we weren't working with much time. So that's when we got to it.
That's right. That's right.
Um, but the Montana one, we got there, it was late. We're like, hey, there was a small fire. Some of you guys want to go get to it, you can. No pressure. You guys can go bed down. A lot of guys bedded down. That first fire, though, I remember we talked a little bit, and I think it was sometime at night. It was like, I mean, like everybody started kind of dwindling away. People were scurrying off, and it was me, you, Pete, and Micah. And
Yep.
somewhere, we were kind of just hanging around the fire, and we were just kind of seeing where the conversation was going to go. Um, but the conversation went more in the side of you going like, "No, what do you kind of mean by that, man? Like, what do you talk about?" And then you kind of pried on me, you know? And
Yeah,
I was
dude.
like, I was like, all
I'm
right.
ready to square up.
I was like, all right. I was like, all right. So we got to talking, and then one thing led another, and I'm sitting
Yeah,
there and I'm talking, and I'm letting some really hard
heavy shit.
emotions, heavy shit out. I was letting these emotions just flow. And instead of stopping it, and that's what a lot of us, I feel like a lot of us do, man. We put up these walls. We put up
Yeah,
these barriers because we're afraid to let people in, and we're afraid to let ourselves just heal, because we have gone through so many struggles where it's just we're told to put it aside and there will be another time to fill it, but the other time never comes, guys. It's just always put aside. And because of that, when that time did happen, I remember it was a hard night. There was some real work that was done in that circle.
big time.
And then I remember going to bed that night feeling like, all right, this is gonna be weird in the morning. I was thinking to myself, this is gonna be weird, man. I let some really tough stuff out, and I went to bed, and I woke up in the morning, and I remember I slept hard. And in the morning, I had Pete knocking on my door, and he's like, He's like, "Hey man, you're gonna be late to the morning." And he's like, "You coming?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll get up. I'll be there right now." I walked out the door, and sure enough, I see you and I see Pete, and it's like, "Morning, brother. How you doing? How'd you sleep? How's this?" And I was just like, I was like, "Man, this isn't awkward. This isn't
Yeah,
this isn't hard. This isn't, like,
abnormal.
abnormal." And I was like,
Yeah.
I just got done venting some very serious stuff, and I was like, what I feared was that. And then as soon as, we got in the car, we took off, went to the next cabin, and we ate breakfast, and I walked through the door and I see everybody else, and it's like, "Morning, brother, how'd you sleep? Want some coffee? You want this?" And I was like, man, I was like, "Let's work. Let's do it again." And then we hit the next chat that night, and I was just even more like, I had more of this like burn
Locked
in me
in.
to like, yeah, I was locked in. I was just like, I want somebody else to feel what I felt last night.
Yeah.
And sure enough, it
Yeah.
happened. And then it was the
Yep.
next morning. I wanted to see their face. I wanted to see what they felt after they got something off their chest.
Yep.
And sure enough, that next morning, they had a smile on their face. They got greeted with the same good mornings. They got the same, how'd you sleep?
Big
And I
hugs.
ate a big hug, and I know what they felt the next day, and it was happiness. It was true happiness, and this shit is contagious, Rocco.
Dude,
That's exactly
it is so contagious, man. Um, he wait, like Olive Garden,
when you hear
uh
your family.
oh
Yeah,
shit, I love that.
yeah.
Um,
Damn,
but
love that.
it
That's
it is
exactly what it was, Big
contagious,
Cat.
man. And yeah, we also love it, dude. It's powerful. It's something else. It's definitely different. It's a different mentality, right? To feel that I can see Tanner as a Renee middle name type of guy, sophisticated and yet rugged, like really expensive black coffee. That's what Wade just said.
That's what Wade
Uh,
said. Appreciate it. Hey, Wade. I sent a picture to Wade because I come from California, man, and my childhood was it was a rough childhood, and I sent a picture recently, like a couple days ago, to Wade, and he was like, oh, he's like, all right, it pretty much explains a lot, like, it's,
he's also a Cali dude,
I know.
Mr. Rosnewski, man. He is the real deal. He and I just had uh he wanted to have an AAR today
Love it.
about the retreat and kind of like how did I do, you know? And he called me up. He's like, "Yo, man, you got a couple minutes?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "All right, give me an AAR, dude. Like, give me that after action report. How'd I do?" And I love that, right? And I said to him in particular, I was like, dude, you did great. I felt like you hid away from people a little bit who you really truly are. And I think that if you open up more and show who you are, people are going to listen to you. But you got to let them know too, like, this is not a place for, comparison, right? We love to drill that down. Do not compare. Do not compare. Do not compare. That is going to ruin the entire thing, right? Because your story is not the same as other people's stories. And he went through a lot of shit. He's seen a lot, he's done a lot, all that kind of thing, right?
Right,
But the thing is, he can take that and harness it and make it something that will be a leadership type trait, especially in the veteran community where people will listen up, like, whoa, like that motherfucker opened up, like, damn, dude, like I can do it too. Then,
I
right?
can do it
They
too.
turn it on its head. You know what I mean? Like instead of it being like a negative comparison thing, be a lead from the front. From this is how heavy duty the shit that I went through is, and you can do it too, right?
Right,
Not comparing in a negative way because we're going to do it anyway. I don't think it's a bad thing that we compare shit. It's just doing it in a healthy way, right?
right.
So only compare
They're
tacos.
tacos.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
I'll roll with that, Jeremy. Um, but yeah, dude, I really love that kind of like feedback you gave, even from the Montana trip, right? Kind of going back to that trip and how every morning we woke up and it was just like another guy with their face looked different, right?
Yeah,
Like
their actions, the way they carried themselves was different.
everything.
And you can see it. You can see it throughout the day. It wasn't just a morning thing after they shared. It was the attitude they brought along with them for the rest of the day,
100%.
you know? And that group couldn't have been a better group to have out there in Montana, man. There was
Straight up.
and I even said it, and this is without bringing anybody's stories into it, but there were some guys that were some hard hitters in life. There were some guys that were there that as a kid I would have looked up to him, you know? I
Yeah,
would have
dude.
been like I would have been like, "Yo, this guy's a fucking savage." He was the guy that I literally wanted to be like. But
Yep.
in life, I didn't end up doing the things they did. I didn't get to do the fast boy cool shit. I didn't get to do that. I did my own fast boy cool shit, not to, say to deter from it, but I didn't do that, and I know where the
Yeah.
line is between what they did and what I did. But the cool part is I know there's other people that didn't get to do the shit I did,
Yep.
and then they beat themselves up about it. And they're like, "Oh, I didn't get to do this. I didn't get to do that." But we talked about that at the chat. It's not
Yep.
about what you did. It's not about how much you did. It's because then at that point you're taken away from your own story, and your story is interesting. It is unique. It is
Yep.
what makes you you. And so a lot of what like in these chats, what happens is like we want to get rid of that, where it's like anybody who comes to these chats, and that has the heart to just finally break down that wall. Part of that is telling yourself whatever comes out of my mouth is not going to be it's not going to be meant with a sense of like, oh, like I hope you guys. Oh, my wife, she said, dropped the heart, love it, babe.
Hell yeah.
I hope it's not like I don't want to share my piece because I feel like these guys are going to look at it and be like, my story wasn't cool enough. I don't want to say my piece because I hope that they look at it and they think it's goofy that I could be feeling the way I am about what I'm feeling about. None of that shit happens. Not one bit of that happens. It didn't happen in Montana. It didn't happen in the Poconos. I
Yep.
can tell you right now, any retreat I didn't go to in the past, it didn't happen. In any future one, it's not going to happen.
Yep.
It's just not that group. The people that are leading these do not have that mentality.
Set the tone, baby.
Exactly. That's what it is. Nobody wants to see that, man, and nobody's got that mentality. We all your story is interesting. Point blank period. Your story is unique.
That's right. It's as unique as that fingerprint, right? And I
Right.
think that the whole concept of this organization is the leadership really does set the tone on these retreats. And that's why we really try to choose the right people that want to be there, but also have that right attitude. Now, that doesn't mean that other people, won't be good leaders for other individuals and things like that. But so I don't want people to think like, oh, they didn't ask me to be a leader. It's not about that, right? It's you are important, you are good enough, all that stuff. It's just we're looking for a certain set of individual that we want to bring in here to have that type of attitude, right? And it's not a negative or a positive. Also, other people have more time to be able to dedicate to that too. So, we're just so grateful that we came across you at the time that we did, and that you have the time to be able to dedicate to being a leader, at least for now, right? And maybe hopefully even into the future too. Who knows? But we're definitely excited about wait. Tanner
He must
must
have
have
been
been
ordained
ordained
because he's over
because
here preaching.
oh shit.
That's the
Damn.
passion, baby. That's what it is.
That's it, dude. That's
That's what it
straight.
is.
Oh my god, Dan. I love Dan, dude. I could actually hear him say like Tanner
Oh,
must have been
dang.
ordained because he's over here preaching. Like
Yeah,
I could hear him
I
say
could hear
stuff
him.
like that, dude. But that's real, dude, because it's the
You
unit.
guys. Sorry to cut you off. You say you're lucky to have found me, but it's the opposite, brother. I'm lucky to have found you guys. You know what I mean? That's what it comes down to. It's like I'm lucky to have come across Dan at the time I did. I'm lucky to have the opportunity now to use my leadership traits from all the years. And when I got out, I felt like I lost that purpose. And we talk about that all the time. Guys feeling like they lost it.
Big
But
time.
I have the opportunity now to put all those leadership skills that I had in the service back into something healthy, and that's helping out brothers and sisters. So
That's right, man. And I appreciate you saying that too. And because honestly, like the way I look at this forever, probably will always look at it this way. Like I can't even believe I'm a part of this organization and I'm one of the dudes that founded it. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. Like the fact that so many good things are happening and like the plans are coming to fruition, and we've been working at it for so long, for so many years, and it's just now still the beginning. Like we say it
that's
all the
wild.
time. Like there's so much more to come, and this is just the beginning. We have something in motion this year called
Yes,
is
that's the
that
shield.
yeah, that this is the shield.
I was waiting towards the end to bring it up and be like, for those who
Yeah.
don't see it, but you got to say something about that too
I
before all this
definitely
ends.
will. I definitely will. We actually have a couple announcements that we'll make. It's incredible, Melissa. It's wild. But damn. Oh, we're just at
Wait,
the beginning, right?
yeah,
Like this is we might have planned for a lot of this, but we didn't plan for all of this. So, we have a mission that we set forth called, Mission Household Name this year. So we're trying our best to become a household name this year, which means we need everybody to be sharing, pushing the name Project Refit, trying to get us on the podcast. Like, I can't wait to have somebody step up and be a full time, or not full time, but at least a part time outreach person to podcasts, to get us on podcasts, to get Dan on podcasts, to get me on podcasts, or one or the other, right? Like, my dream, I would love to be on Theo Vaughn's podcast. I mean, Tanner, you know how much I love Theo
Yeah.
Vaughn. Like, we've been over that shit. Like, I love him, dude. I think he's one of the most vulnerable, coolest people on the planet Earth, dude. And it's
He is
something I
a
really
humble
look up
man.
to. What's that?
I said he is a humble man.
Yo, he's so humble. He's just real. He's just a dude who's living, Like, he can't even believe he's a comedian that's popular. Like, I can't even believe I'm a civilian that gets to help out veterans in America in the way that I am. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, I really vibe with that. And I really just resonate with his mentality, because that's kind of like how I feel all the time. I'm just like, wow, how am I doing this? I feel so lucky.
Right.
Um, and just like, the sacrifices were worth it, and to see people just light up, just like Dan said, you see color come back into
See
men's
the
eyes and like
Yep, you see
women's
it.
eyes. And it's just, and you can see it. Like, even one guy that we had this weekend, not going to mention any names, there's one guy in particular that came out that I think really needed it. And apparently, something was said. It was actually our quote when I had you turn around, and I was like, "Yeah, let me read that." When I
Back
read
in the
that
sweater.
quote, yeah, when I read that quote out to him, again, I don't want to say any names or anything like that, but when I read that quote to him, apparently that made a huge impact on him. Like, the fact that we have that as a part of our organization, he was really motivated by it. Honor all fallen with life. Like, that is the promise that we're making when you join into this group and when you join into this organization. So it's pretty wild, man. It's just such a fantastic thing to be a part of. Wait, let's see this. um it's great. It's a great feeling being a part of something you feel is your true calling. Yeah. And then you also said, I wouldn't know what it's like, but I hear it's nice.
Just to cap on that, brother, I that was a year and a half. That was a year and a half that I went not knowing anybody in the state. That was a year and a half that I didn't work. That was a year and a half that I struggled. That was a year and a half that I truly was at my lowest of low. But I can tell you, you said I don't know what it's like. I didn't know either, brother, but through time, I can promise you you're gonna find it. And it's nothing but time in between your goal and now, and it'll happen.
Yeah, you got to put that work in.
Absolutely.
That's really what it is. You got to really get uncomfortable, and really push yourself, and find a group you can push yourself with. And dude, having you come out to one of our retreats, would love to introduce you to some of the guys and more of the guys, dude. And for a year now, and I feel like I'm moving towards nothing. Yep, we
Yep.
understand that, dude. We get it.
And that's why you need to be at one of these retreats, brother, so we can talk, so we can get to you. You know what I mean?
It's definitely different when you're able to sit in front of us and communicate, and we can actually be a part of your journey, brother. Like, dead serious.
That's it
Um,
right there, baby.
it's big. It's a big difference.
Be a part of your
Um,
journey.
yeah, and you know what? That's something I really think is important too. Is the idea and concept of actually what Wade was saying and what you were saying. Like, they go hand in hand. But I really love the what he Ray just said. What up?
What's
What
good,
up?
Ray?
Oh, what up? Oh.
Oh, what's good,
Uh,
Ray?
Ray's the man. He was also a retreat leader this weekend too. It was pretty cool. But
Van
we
Henderson, North Virginia.
if ever has in Nevada.
Is it Nevada
Uh,
or
dude, we'll bring you out, bro. We need to get people who get it. That's what really helps us. Yeah, big time. I agree with that, Melissa. That's real stuff. Um,
people who get it? Let me
it
see
it
about
it
this.
it definitely does work when you have a community that understands you 100%. Um, so we absolutely, and my brain took a shit again. Um, oh, purpose and calling, right? So you come out to this retreat, dude, you'll have a whole community around you. You'll have people that want to believe in you when you don't believe in yourself. And then you'll be able to believe in someone else when you begin to believe in yourself. That's like the mentality. And what like Tanner says is, dude, we want to be a part of your journey. We want to be lockstep with you in your journey, going step by step with you for the rest of your journey of your life, right? Which hopefully is a long one. You can't take your life. When you're with us, you make a promise, you're going to honor all fallen with life. So like that's the key and that's the challenge. So again, dude, the next retreat that's coming up, would love to have you come out so you can actually sit down with us and get to know more of the guys and actually sit down and talk about what's going on. Like why are you feeling like you can't move forward? Like what is the thing holding you back? Why are you doing that to yourself, right?
Right.
So what is the lie? What is the truth? Let's figure it out together. Um it's really, really important that you get challenged. Self-belief is contagious. Just hang around the carriers.
That's pretty deep.
Wade. Always Wade.
That's
Uh,
Wade. That's Wade right there.
uh-huh.
Oh, it is Wade. Self belief is contagious. Just hang around the carriers.
Damn. That's pretty cool, actually. I don't mind that at all. Is that something somebody said, or you just make that shit up, Wade? Like he just says stuff,
Put the little quotations here. He put his name
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If that's something he just
from
made
from
up,
Wade.
yeah, put that shit in quotations. There's always a calling to reach the purpose. Always, dude. That's right. You just gotta, whatever you believe, whatever you think. He said, "Made it up, bro." I heard him say that in my head too.
My dog told me.
My
then
dog
he
told
looked. Then he looked over at you and said, "Nobody's ever going to believe you that I said it."
me. That's right. Mm, that tickles. Yeah, it does.
That's
That tickles my brain too. I like it. He said, "I just feel like it's
we just talked about that, brother. That's what we talked about. It's not. You said I just feel like it's mainly for vets who actually did things. My service was so short and did nothing. Like I didn't deserve to be on one of those retreats. Let me tell you, we had this conversation. We were in Montana. We had a conversation with another vet. He. I'm not going to talk about names or time of service. It doesn't matter. None of that mattered. The point was he had the same feeling. Like I said there was a vet there was a couple vets that were out there. These guys were hot shots, man. I'm talking like, like this guy was killing it. He's doing stuff in the military like that are special forces type of level. You know what I mean?
literally
And yeah, and so like I looked at these guys like I said, like I wanted to be like them. I wanted to when I was growing up, I wanted to be at that level. And I never reached that level. But then underneath my level where I did reach, there's somebody else who was right here. And he sees what I did as something that's like, I wish I could have done that. But it's like all we're doing at that point is we're just comparing. We're just like,
you're diminishing yourself
you're
hard.
diminishing. Yeah, you're really putting yourself in a position where you're saying, like, what I did doesn't matter. And the crazy part about that is that you're taking away from your own unique story. And that's just not what we want you to do. The whole point is we want you to look at whatever you did, and we're gonna look at that and find the positivity in just those things you did. It doesn't matter what I did. It doesn't matter what the SF guy did because it's like it's cool that they did that. It's cool what I did, but we're gonna look at what you did and be like, that's cool what you did too. We don't want to take away from what you did. We don't want you to take away from what you did.
That's
That's just
right.
not what we're here to do.
Yeah, dude, being your own worst critic is you just fucking beating yourself down, dude.
Yeah,
That is got to take we want to take your brain and then try to protect it from all that negative shit. Remember, remember, I'm a civilian. Remember that. I'm out here, I'm talking to people, and I'm like, yo, tell us what's going on, tell us what's happening. It's all about just confidence, dude, and recognizing that you don't have to understand exactly what that person's going through, what they went through in terms of like their service and what they saw, but you can understand the emotion. Emotions actually matter. That's at the end of the day, we're just trying to help understand how to become even with our emotions. Like that's key. That's everything. Like and understanding the importance of forgiveness, self-love, all of that is really at the end of the day what we're trying to aim for during these retreats. So if you come out, dude, we set the tone. The rules are as they are. No comparing. Comparison kills, right? We're not trying to compare anything or anyone's their journey, their story to anyone else's because it's your own and it's unique to you. And that does matter. It really matters a lot.
Matters a ton, brother. Once you tell us and you get to come get just whatever it is in here out, you feel better about yourself. You understand that there wasn't a sense of like I feel goofy if I say this. All that stuff goes away, man. It's all about being open, and that's all it is. And it will happen. You know, there's a time and place. We said it even at that first chat on Friday. If you feel like tonight you don't want to share, that's fine. You don't have to. There's not that you can come to a retreat and the retreat be a month long, and the whole month you didn't share. That's okay. There's no pressure. But I hope in that whole month you started to realize that through that whole month nobody was judged, not a single person was judged, and that just
Right.
shows you that the month and the day after the month was over, if you were to open up, you wouldn't be judged either. It doesn't matter if you open up on the first day, the third day, the week later. It's not coming. The judgment's not coming, brother.
Never.
It's a judgment free zone. It's all about just feeling heard from your brothers.
Straight up, man. It will never happen. We actually have some retreats coming up too. I know that we just solidified the Colorado, the week long retreat. That's going to be. Let me go back to it.
I
It's
look forward
like,
to seeing you, Big Cat. I hope you know that, brother.
yeah, dude. We want to get you out big time. I actually can't wait to have you come out either. Let me see. July 22nd to the 26th is the Colorado week long retreat when we go to Colorado. So July 22nd to the 26th is when that's going to happen. And I think that that includes the 2 travel days as well. So, um, let just my own judgment, just how I am. Maybe one day I break those own walls. Dude, saying something like just how I am, I would usually start asking questions, but since we're on a live stream,
Right.
I'm going to
That's
say
a
some shit. Go ahead, Tanner.
I was gonna say now maybe I don't know where you're going with it. I was gonna say maybe that's for a fireside chat to
That is a fireside chat
I was
type
gonna
thing.
say that's a thing to break down at a fireside chat.
Yeah, that shit tweaks me though a little bit because it's like that's no excuse for not making the decision to move forward. Just to be completely blunt and honest with you, just how this is who I am. No, 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 no. You can always be better. You just have to decide to do that, and that's where we break that shit down. All right, good. All right, I know it's not. All right, good. But yeah, that's understandable. We'll definitely get into that, and we'll dig into it, and we'll try to figure stuff out together. And it's really what we aim to do is try to help you think for yourself, you know, because that's really key. You got to really learn how to think for yourself and fight back on those negative kind of thoughts and those negative connotations that you bring to your brain, uh, and really break those patterns. I mean, that's number one. You got to break the negative pattern of thinking for yourself. It's huge. And yeah, we'll fly this year, not just one day. It's going to be this year, dude. I'm gonna get you out this
Absolutely.
year.
I don't think
Um,
you understand it. It's coming. It's coming.
yeah,
It's coming, brother. Don't worry. We'll see.
yep, straight up. And also, I don't know if you filled out the retreat responses yet. Let me see. I can actually check. I don't think you did. You should fill it out, dude. And then I'll be able to also mail you your dog tag since you became a monthly donor. Which again, thank you so much for doing that, dude. I know you did that the other day. Wade has something to say though. He said,
Hey,
"Big
wait, did.
Cat, bro, I did 2 tours. I don't give a fuck if you deployed. Did 10 years or you made mashed potatoes last night. Come to the campfire and freaking live life by us. Let's go, dude." That's Wade. That's Wade. Wade is one of the OGs also of this organization. Wade's story is pretty incredible. We're definitely gonna have to share that one day, and one day soon. On a bigger, maybe on like a podcast or something like that with us. But Wade is definitely he understands what judging yourself is to a deep core. And he fought through a lot, and he's just getting better and better and better as a human. I've always loved him. Everybody here's always loved him, and he needed to start loving himself the same way. And he's doing it. He's doing it. But anywho, Big Cat, you're coming out, baby. And
Scott.
what else we got, bro? What else we got? I wanted to cover a couple things. Like for you in particular, like hopefully we continue to grow this. We continue to make, more money in this organization, to start hiring people into bigger roles, pay them well, all those kind of things. Of course, that takes monthly donors, that takes grants, it takes a lot of hard work that we're putting through this year. We actually have some really awesome volunteers. One guy in particular, Ross. Ross is taking over the North Jersey Golf Outing. Can't wait for that. He's a civilian that came out to one of our golf outings last year. One of his really good friends took his own life, who was a Marine a few years ago. And oh, dude, let's go. What up, Connor? So the controller, look for him in the UFC, baby. I hope you kick ass, bro. Can't wait for you to start fucking whooping ass. But good to see you jumping in, brother. Dan and I were on a podcast with him a few years ago. Talked to him. He's a super dope dude, man. He's gonna kick some fucking ass in UFC too. I
Oh,
know
he's
it.
going to the UFC.
Yeah, he just got in.
We'll be watching.
Yeah, Connor Matthews, dude. He's a stud. But anyway, so we're
Tons of
looking to
things.
really grow this thing and really looking to get more money in here so we can continue to hire really awesome veterans and hire even first responders that retired, like police officers, to get them part of this organization too, and continue to grow and just bring in more people to send people out on the more retreats. I mean, we have so much. The thing that's crazy is that we set a manifesto to launch ourselves off of, a manifesto of land, actually, is the only way I can put it. So we can actually send more people to more areas more consistently. We can host now. Technically, we have enough properties that we've partnered up with now to have a literally 2 retreats a month. That's how many properties we've partnered up with. The only way we can achieve doing things like that is if we start to get more money in the door with this organization, so we can keep people hired and employed to become retreat leaders who are getting paid. That's what we're working on now. Deanne is one of the major grant writers in this organization. She never wrote a grant in her life until a couple of years ago, and she's been crushing it ever since. And hopefully, we continue to grow and grow and grow. Get her ass in here too. Hire her, maybe, and like really grow as a whole team, and get more people out to join the group and start their own fire teams around the nation, and really start to get this machine rolling this machine to fight against suicide, right? Like, and I'm talking about in a way, a place of true strength and honor. And actually, Tanner, here's a question for you. I'll throw you on the spot with your brain. Deanne, yeah, I love you too, girl. We wouldn't be where we are without you, and that's real. So if you had a vision for this organization, now that you've been a part of it for a little while now, what do you think is something you would want to see a part of this organization?
Uh, it's a great question, and I kind of quick off the top of the head with it because I've
Yep.
already been thinking about this. I think having a representative that travels going base to base would be an amazing feat for the organization. So, like, I know, like, I've already been to Fort Campbell. I was stationed there, and I was stationed at Fort Lewis, and I know because I just only a year and a half out the mentality that is in the ranks. So we fight the battle outside of what's I mean you just started reaching into some of these active duty places. Who was our buddy who came out active duty? It was just out there at the last retreat.
My man, Sam.
So no, Sam's out. The other one, Hawaiian,
Oh, Kanalu, bro.
Kanalu,
Kanalu.
my boy
Gang,
Kanalu,
gang.
active though, active
Jensen's
duty,
son.
and he's just getting out. He's just in, I should say,
Hmm.
and,
Just got in.
and he's just in. And what's different though is like I just got out and Sam just got out, and we know what the ranks are looking like right now. And it's always harder fighting the battle after they've gotten out. But if
Yep.
we can just find a way to reach them more before they get out, how many
Yep.
of you guys are getting close to ETSing? How many of you guys are already in the process of getting out? You are? Let me talk to you for a second. What's it looking like for you when you get out? And just maybe putting it on them, just like, hey man, there's just for when you get out, if you ever come across a problem where you feel like you're alone, there's this organization that would absolutely love to be there for you. Bam, just like that. That's
Yep.
all. That's where I would like to see the organization head to. And it's a branch of that where we catch the guys before it's too late. You know what
Yep.
I mean?
Straight up. I love that. That's actually it's actually funny you say that. That's actually something that Dan really wants to do as well. Dan is all about being a part of like the actual exit process. And then hearing what you're saying too, and it's something that we've been talking about for some time now, where we could, if we could get like a mobile base on base, like one of our mobile bases on a military base, an installment where we can host fireside chats on the base. I mean, like, dude, that would be nuts. That would be perfect, dude. Um,
ETS brief, exactly what Wade said, just like that.
yep. It's just it's so important. I mean, even we having guys getting out where we meet them the day they get out, that happening, the fact that that's happening now, it's only a testament to where we've come from and where we're planning on going in the future. And it's going to take those younger guys like a Kanalu, like a Sam, like that, like a Harrison, to be able to reach out to their younger boys and be, yo, you got to check this organization out. We go on adventures. We're looking to improve our lives. We're looking to just get better. If you want to be a part of it, come join us, dude. Like, let's go. Let's do it. If you have a vision for an idea of something that you want to make an impact on your local community, like, we can help you. So my whole thing is, my vision is activating the civilian community to, he said you could put stuff in,
Bad welcome centers.
uh-huh. He said, yes, TJ, that's a really good point, right? We just had a guy from the British Army who came out. He didn't say, we know what he actually did. He didn't say it yet, so we can't like just throw it out there. But I do know what that gentleman did. He was high level in the British Army. So that was pretty cool to have somebody, one of our allied forces, be able to join in and
Was
join
an
us during one
operator.
of the retreats. Yeah, he was. That boy was an operator, dude.
Good job.
Yeah, we all picked up on that shit pretty quick too, huh?
Shout out
But
to my mother who just joined in. I'm
hey,
guessing this stream is reaching.
yeah, we
It's
got a
going
lot of
around.
people jumping in, dude. What's
Good,
going on, Miss Ortiz? How you
good to see
doing?
y'all. Good to see y'all.
What's good? But yeah, dude, I would love to tap into the civilian community itself and get more property owners, like big 10 acres or more,
Mhm.
to jump in and donate property so that we can leverage it and use it. To have fireside chats, local one day fireside chats. Now, they're not necessarily as powerful as, like, when we go on a retreat, even mini retreats, but I'll tell you what, it's still a step forward to keep the community engaged and improving themselves and practicing. If they come to a fireside chat where it's like, yo, I want to practice a couple of things here, like that I learned in therapy, like some tools that I picked up, I would love to bring it here and practice tonight, if that's cool. And people can challenge that person, but it takes honesty. It takes telling the truth. Like, what is the thing that you're really struggling with? Whatever, I don't know, you could come up with a million fucking things, actually, but whatever you're struggling with, share it and let the community help you get better at, not responding in a negative way to whatever it is that you're learning how to get through. But it takes a lot of trust, and I think that's something else that's really cool about our organization, that we're kind of supporting, and not kind of, that we are supporting and growing, is this idea of trust. And anybody that breaks that trust, dude, you'll have to have a conversation with us. You know what I mean? Like, it could be like a thing where it's like, you got to get out or you got to change that. You can't do that kind of stuff, right? We got to protect each other. It's really, really important. But that's my dream, man. Like, that's what I would love to see, like, activating the civilian community more too, because if you activate the civilian community, you'll see a whole entire change in this nation, right? Like, then it becomes a real nation that is healing together. And I think that's something that we really need. But that's my big,
There's a lot of
big
civilians
dream.
that want to give back to the veteran community. It's just
100%.
finding out how to reach them, I guess, is
The key.
the key part.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. There's so
Somebody
many.
actually said recently, it gave me a really good idea. It was actually from Delaware. They're like, yo, you should hit up Rotaries for the property owners. Like, hit up a Rotary, because they're always asked for money. People are always asking them for money. But what if you, that's right, Rob. I actually said at the beginning, we have a mission going, household name. That's it. But go to the Rotary instead of asking for, money from them. Be like, hey, we'd love to partner up with you if you'd like to donate your property to us once a month to be able to bring vets out to, right? Have a fire team, bring some more guys out to. They'll be small. They're not huge gatherings. They're small gatherings. They're intimate. They're close. Maybe it could be 5 guys, could be 10 guys coming out. And by guys, I mean women too, of course. Bringing them out to that to again practice what they're learning to help them get better and get them in front of a good, healthy community. Like, that is critical. But I love the base idea too because it's so direct, it's so boots on ground in their face. I think that's really critical. Um,
Yeah, the when we went to what base was that? Fort Dix,
yep,
and
JDMDL.
you and Dan had me speak.
Yep.
The one thing that I used to kill me, and you know, a lot of guys that are in here too can speak on and probably comment on this. They understand what I mean, but there's so much time, so many times that we used to send these briefs. They're mandatory. They, you know, the department, I'm guessing it's a DOD thing where they mandate that there has to be so many of these equal opportunity or sexual harassment or suicide prevention classes that have to be taught um, to soldiers throughout the year. And so there'd be a time you're doing 3 suicide classes a year, or you're doing it 3 times in half a year. You never know, really. It's just, you know, it depends on what's going on. But what happens is there's so many times though that you become desensitized to a lot of this stuff. You know,
Yep.
you become I guess in a way you just stop hearing it. It goes in one ear, it goes out the other
Yep.
ear. And so when we went to Fort Dix, you know, we're sitting there and the first thing I let off with is I said to him, I said, "How many of you guys," and I got a laugh out of him,
Yeah, you
because
did.
I said, "How many times have you guys sat in a meeting or a sharp or a suicide class, and they're sitting here saying, you know, don't kill yourself, don't kill yourself," and then your buddy in the background reaches over and he's like, "If this guy says kill yourself one more time, I'm gonna kill myself," and it's just like, you know, but it's like there's a little dark humor in it, but it's like, you know, that's the
There's also
difference.
truth.
So it's the difference is like we're tired of the way it's taught. It's
Yeah.
not working. It's not working anymore. You can't just sit there anymore and just hand out a pamphlet and just be like, "Here, this pamphlet. Call them whenever you feel like killing yourself." It's not
That's
going to work
right.
anymore. It's done. That way of teaching it and trying to stop people to prevent it is over. It's not working, and that's just what we're not talking about enough as a nation.
Dude, so yeah. I mean, that's like a big that's what we're anti-awareness, right? Like we're all
Yeah,
about action, take action, trust your own voice, think for yourself. Don't be afraid to have a conversation with somebody. You don't have to diagnose people. You don't have to talk about anything other than what you know necessarily, or you don't have to talk at all. Just ask the person what's up and just listen to them, dude. Like
right.
it's as simple as that. And really listen to people and have those. Don't be afraid of those hard conversations. Don't be afraid of asking someone directly, "Are you going to kill yourself?" I mean, that's 101. That's really easy. Genuinely, do it.
Do
Like,
you feel like it?
yeah.
Are you?
Do you want to kill yourself? That, that. Be very direct, be very clear, and be very in someone's face about it. That will save someone's life because you know what happens? That person's like, well, it's going to throw them off, right? You're not putting the idea in their head. You're not putting the idea in their head at all. That's an old concept that's been proven wrong over and over and over again.
And
I
it's
had
not meant to
actually,
be that way. It's coming from a place of care, of
uh
love.
huh, straight up. So you can grow, right? That's why I have that image right there. You got to grow from death, dude. You got to be able to grow. It's one of my favorite drawings, actually, one of my favorite paintings. But I have a bunch of them all over. But expand your mind, dump knowledge into the world. That's this one right here that you really can't see. It's like dumping knowledge into the world, dump the love. You're gonna run out of time. You got to take care of yourself, and you got to be able to bump yourself up a little bit more, right? You got to actually get out and improve and improve and improve. And it's actually good to get yourself uncomfortable to have that growth. Actually, something else comes to my brain too. This is not my idea or my thought. It's actually something I heard, and I thought it was great advice. Where it's like, look, if you're with the same therapist for a few years, like you should really think about switching therapists. Right? It's going to be tough, but the thing is, if you switch therapists, it's going to put you in an uncomfortable position again to share some stuff, talk to that person, get to know that person. They might have a different outlook and a different perspective on things, right? So you can continue to grow, continue your own growth, and continue forward to get better and better and better. Change it up a little bit sometimes, man. Get uncomfortable again. You might love your therapist, but it's like, look, like we've been together for a while. I'm gonna try a new therapist. Like it's nothing against you. I just got to go, and I want to get another perspective on things, right? You always have that person in your back pocket. You have a good relationship with them, but you move forward. You know what I mean? You always have them to jump back on and to fall back on when you need it, but you need to learn how to move forward pretty heavily. So ask people that can kill themselves directly, and don't be afraid of changing shit up and get uncomfortable again. Put yourself into uncomfortable positions for sure.
Exactly. Be uncomfortable, and it sucks, but it's somebody's got to do it. So
That's right.
be that change.
That's right. You got to be the change, baby. That's real. I mean, I know that people say that kind of thing, but it might sound cliche. But when you actually put, I guess, not boots to ground, what's the word I'm looking for, or the phrase? But once you actually put yourself into that and you're actually being a part of the change, you're actively doing things, you're no longer just raising awareness about shit, you make a lot of progress. You will make change in your own community. You'll potentially even save one of your buddies' lives, you know, or extend it. Not save. I don't like saying that. You extend lives. That's what you do here. We extend lives because you're never going to escape death, dude. Death is coming, but you can extend your life a little bit longer. You know,
A lot
um,
longer.
yeah, a lot longer. You know, and that's
Jeremy,
really important.
Jeremy says complacency stops growth. It's very true.
That's really true. Complacency definitely stops growth. Got to take your own advice sometimes too. You know what I mean? Like, I mean that's something that I've said before, and sometimes I get complacent, and then I'm like, damn, I gotta move. I gotta challenge myself. I gotta make a couple more phone calls. I gotta get out there and do a couple things. I gotta work out a little bit harder. I gotta change my workout routine. I gotta eat better. I gotta not drink the soda. You know what I mean? Like whatever. It's a Sprite really because I love Sprite, but like I gotta push. And just get healthy, and also change it up. If you're dipping, go to Black Buffalo. I love Black Buffalo. I'm trying to get sponsored by
Let's
them,
get a
dude.
sponsorship going.
Damn, I got to get them on here, man. Get off tobacco. But anyway, just I don't know. Just there's so much that we could go through, and again, just to kind of sum all this shit up, dude. Just I'm so grateful you're a part of this. I really
Thank
am.
you.
And I see a great future, not only for yourself, but also for this organization with people like you that are joining and becoming leaders, these retreat leaders and people that want to step in and do something. That helps out so much, helps Dan and myself even. And more importantly, it helps everyone in the future that comes into Refit, right? By building up a really good team. Now, with that comment, I will show something very important right now. So this shield, I don't know if you can hear me or not, but this shield right here was just given to us by Rob, and TJ, and it was done by Austin Wagner. Um, it was hand engraved by one of the veterans as part of this organization. His name is Austin Wagner. I would definitely go out and check him out. He has Facebook. He has an Instagram. His Instagram is engraved by Austin. And this is what he does. He's a tattoo artist, or used to be a tattoo artist. I think he's actually doing tattooing again too. But I've seen him do entire cars of hand engraving, glass. I mean, this is literally all hand engraved.
It's even
It's
better in person.
it's insane. I cannot even describe to you how beautiful this thing is, but it's unbelievable. And also it stands literally for everything that we're about. We're all going to stand behind the shield together, and we're not just going to be awareness and talk about it. We're all going to be about it. Like it's literally that's what this just encompasses the entire organization right here. It's a shield that we all stand behind together so that we can live and extend our lives, right? We have to continue forward. We also have in there, I don't know if you saw, but fire, EMS, and police down there at the bottom as well as all the military branches on the sides, including Space Force, of course. The new boys on the block. Got Space Force over there,
Of course.
looking real Star Trek. It's really cool to be able to be a part of, again, all of this, and I cannot thank everybody enough who supports us and supports the Tanner, supports Rocco, Dan, myself, TJ, I mean Rob, everybody, Jeremy, and Austin, just so many people, Wade, so many people in this organization. I can go through all of them, but um, yeah, the blue, that's actually our teal blue. And for us, that means that stands for mental health, as well as the blue cord in the infantry. I can go over this whole logo sometime. If you go to our Instagram, there's actually a post I just put up about explaining the logo and all the different meanings that are a part of it and in it. I mean, I'm all the way down to the colors. There's actually meaning throughout the entire logo itself. But I don't know. That's it. Just wanted to share that with you guys. And Tanner, again, thank you so much for being here. thank you so much for joining our team and trusting us with, you know, being about this and being about, growth and helping out this community, the veteran and first responder community, as well as families. I mean, it's everything. It means everything. You're a part of this and you're with us, man. So thank
Oh
you.
yeah. Well, thank you guys very much. It's been a very good time expressing, all this stuff on this podcast today. It was nice to be able to show face and let people know, what I stand for behind the community and all of it, man. I'm looking forward to all the progress that we're gonna make through Project Refit and being a part of it.
Amen, brother. All right. Thank you, everybody. If you have any questions, actually, ask us some questions right now. Ask Tanner some questions. I think that actually be pretty cool. If you guys have anything you want to talk about, hit us right now. This is your chance. Hell yeah, bro. Thank you for saying that, man. We're definitely gonna keep it up. And again, can't wait to get your ass out here, dude. So ask us a question. Go ahead. Ask Tanner a question.
Yeah, if you got any for me, go ahead and now's your chance. So this Fresno Urban Combat, who's actually commenting too, that's actually my father. He's a retired police officer. He did 32 years.
Hey,
That's why I think
let's
when he seen the
go.
blue line, I think he thought it meant the for the blue
Law
lines
enforcement.
for law
Yep.
enforcement.
Yep.
But
Yeah,
law enforcement is on the shield though, so
it is
we
100%,
are
dude.
very much
100%.
supported in here too.
Yeah, if you ever wanted to come out, you can come out too, man. For real. We're trying to get Harrison's dad out here.
Oh
I'm gonna
yeah.
hang this up again. All right,
What color
nice
are
and
your eyes, sweet pea? Scott,
tight.
Scott said, "What color are your eyes?"
Damn. Come on, not stuff like that. Ask us some real questions. Shit. What do you say here? Campbell and Lewis is still funny to me.
He said, "Get it right. I'm 41 years now." That's right. He went back to being a cop.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
he's still working right now. He's still doing the damn thing. Campbell and Lewis is still funny to me. Yeah, I loved Campbell. Campbell was one of my best duty stations, and Lewis was an absolute mess. Lewis is by far where the people who do not care about being leaders go to retire. So it's a mental health that's at Lewis's. Actually, I think if they had a statistic to show on a pie chart with every other base, I'm pretty sure Fort Lewis has got to be on the highest of behavioral health. Between it not enough sun, it raining all the time, and just the overall leadership kit, that's at the base. That base is struggling.
Damn. That's tough. That's really tough. Pete, by the way, said, Renee. Uh,
What's going
what's
on,
up,
Pete?
Pete?
Yeah, miss you, brother.
Yo, we got to get back to your house, Pete. When are we going back over there for another fire, dude?
For real, he's got to host another one, man.
Yeah, that was cool. That was a lot of fun.
It's a good time.
Yeah, it was. But listen, if this is it, everybody, no more questions, then we're just gonna peace out here and end it. And thank you all so much for joining in and meeting Tanner. And we're so grateful to have him part of this team for real. And thank you all for supporting us and being monthly donors. And if you want to become a monthly donor, please click on that right there. It's really important. That helps us out a lot. Could be $1, could be $1,000, whatever the hell you want, man. Whatever you can swing to us, whatever's good enough for you, it's good enough for us. It does help us grow and helps us continue this growth. So, again, become a monthly donor if you can, and we'll definitely keep up the good work. I promise you that. That is guaranteed, 100%. Yeah, thank you,
Okay,
brother.
guys.
Have a good one. See you, everybody.
Take care, everybody.
Oh, there's a heart, a little purple heart. Love that.